We are live, and we're crooked as a politician. Hold on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Why does this thing feel like it keeps getting further and further away? Hell, probably because it is. Yeah. Let's see. I'll put you just like that. Hey, y'all don't go nowhere. Oh, we showing 2 likes already, 3 likes already. Hold on, it's still loading. So if anybody's chatting, I cannot read it yet. Do. Oh, yep, Jacob's here. Hello, Jacob. Gary is also here. Hello, Gary. Our friend, I think your name is Naheem. Let me translate to English and see if it does me any good. And Reaper's here saying meow. I hope everyone's doing just swimmingly tonight. Oh, let's see here. Try again. Okay. Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody. Reaper said meow. Meow to you too, Reaper. Daryl said, hey, R3, it's Thursday. Haha, yes. It is Friday Eve. But yes, it is Thursday. One day after hump day and one day before the Friday. Tashin said, my name is Tashin. That's what I thought. I thought so. I did not want to be wrong on that. But Dad was supposed to be here in time to do this 6 p.m. live, but he is on the road. He's still got an hour and a half to go. Let's see here. Daniel said, happy Thursday. Sup, guys? Happy Thursday, Daniel. Hope you're doing well tonight. Lord have mercy. Let's see. Can I turn you down to like 144p and you load? Lotus said, hello, hello. Hello there, Lotus. Reaper said, Annabelle says, hey, everyone. Well, hello, Annabelle. How are you feeling? Daryl said, Lotus with an exclamation point. Try reloading this here. Carlo said, sup, y'all, R3. How you doing, Carlo? Hopefully you're feeling better this morning than you were yesterday morning, Carlo. Let's see here. Lotus said, hello, Annabelle and Reaper. Oh, hold on. We're loading just a little bit better. Looks like we're loading an advertisement. Yep, unlimited range radios. Rapidradios.com. Ta-dum. Live chat. There we go. Let's see here. Wade said, hey. Hello, Wade. Hope you're doing well on this Friday Eve or Monday number 4. Lotus said, what? I didn't do it, Daryl. Why you yell at me? I'm trying to figure out why he's yelling at you too, but I'm going to assume you did it. Jacob at John Deere Faith Turbo said, how's your dad doing? Is he heading back? Well, apparently he's in the chat and he says hi, but yes, he is heading back. As far as I'm aware, he's okay. He hit some pretty gnarly traffic, apparently. Let's see. Lotus said, sup, Carlo. And Lotus said, ad block, fool. Well, I'm uploading tomorrow's video, and it's just sucking all the internet away. Let me see if I can turn off my VPN, see if that does. Oh, well, I don't even have my VPN on, so that ain't my problem. Just a silly little YouTube channel said hi. Hello, Dad. Lotus said, sup, Randy. Dean X3C9T said, howdy, sir. Howdy, Dean. Lotus said, I probably did it. Yeah, you probably did. Carlos said, I'm feeling better today. Thanks, R3. Well, Carlo, I'm really glad to hear you're feeling better, buddy. Lotus said, hey, Dean. Dad said 70 more miles. So what's that, like an hour and 20 minutes? Daryl said, this is yelling, all caps, Lotus. Daryl also said hi to Dad, aka Randy. Jacob said, I didn't see him. Sorry. Hey, no need to be sorry, buddy. Lotus said, don't yell at me. I'll send Hondas to your shop for work. As long as they have no cat and no muffler. VR6 Prodigy, aka Ryan, said, sup everybody. Hey Randy, how you doing, Ryan? Carlos said, sup Daryl. Ryan, I got a package today. I had to have Justin come down to the shop and accept delivery from FedEx. Reaper said, where did you go, bald man? He went to Atlanta, Georgia for advanced track inspector school. We work on 25-mile-an-hour track. I don't know why we needed advanced track inspector schools, but hey, whatever. So he was down there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Lotus said they all have fart cans. Exactly. John said, hi, dear, how? I don't know. How does a deer howl? Lotus said, sup, Ryan? Daryl said, finally found a radiator for little bird with the crying face. I bet that little bird's going to cost you a lot of money. But I'm glad you found a radiator. Hopefully it's a 2 or 3 core, because I don't think a 1 core is going to last long. Lotus said, is it a Honda radiator? Ryan said, hey, Lotus, hanging out, waiting for Randy to explain this package. John said, oh, hi, D-ho. Oh, hello. Let's see here. Daryl said 309 doll hairs that I don't have. Just spent my money on race suit, etc. I get it. I truly understand. And a 4-core Vega radiator. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Willis. Come on, Kane. Come on. Let's go. You lazy bum. Come on. Come on. God dang. This is why they say Great Danes are lazy. Come on. Kane, let's go. Come on. Carlos said, Lotus, ask about the good news about only RC Nitros. Reaper said I had to take my bartender test today. Oh, for that Pink Pony Club bar. Ryan said he like, nah. Yeah, no kidding. Lotus said I did. He would not say. Come on, you dingus. This is the package. Let's see here. Carlos said, okay, Lotus. Daryl said, gentle giants till you make them mad. Yeah. Listen, I just about got that Wuhan lab cough from opening these things. They're so Chinese. And then Dr. Kevacan, whatever, said, what a mess. If you only knew where we started, dude. But yeah, they are very pretty. And let's see, Daryl said pretty, and Ryan said, those are freaking sick. I agree. Lotus said, well, he changed the subject. Reaper said, it's not the Pink Pony Club bar, because it's the Pink Pony Club. Ryan said, that's clean if it's China. Oh, buddy, this is China as it comes. The wires down there for the starter make it a little bit difficult to get in there by myself. But I bought them for no other reason than to go onto the motor that is on the stand right now. And they were $165 before taxes. And once I bought them, it said, oh, it'll fit 67 to 72 C10s and Black Betty and the white and blue truck out there. Let's see here. Matthew said, Matthew, hell yeah. And then said, hi, hell yeah, Matthew. Reaper, come on. Reaper's honestly going to quit his job. No, don't quit your Pink Pony Club job. Daryl said, cheap. Exactly. I looked them up for Marketplace, and they're $650. Let's see here. Vil Haas said, hello from Germany. Give me a second. I'll put a pin in for you. Kane. Come on, dude. Kane. Let's go. This truck will probably get mufflers, John Deere. for no other reason than I don't want it clapping. Like that thing that Honda drivers have. The clap. Let's see. And put y'all back. Excuse me. Let's see, where was I? Lotus said, is that truck going to come to life soon? You know, Justin asked the same thing today. I sent him the picture of the header on. And he goes, well, what is left to make it run? It needs a full fuel system, the fuel tank installed, oil filter relocation kit. What else does it need? Just to run. Needs at least those three things. Oil filter relocated, fuel system, and I need to put a fuel tank in. And I got to stop robbing parts off of it. But, yeah, it at some point it will be back. I promise. Let's see here. Daryl said cheap. Exactly, that's how I like them. Bill Haas, again, hello from Germany. Pause, let me put a pin in for Germany. You're getting a red one. Because Germany on this map is pink. There we go. Trust me, I know where to find Germany. Let's see here. Jacob said, I bet you that sound good with no mufflers. It'll probably sound good on straight headers. But those 5.3s and the automatics, if you're not careful with the no cats and no muffler, they will be very clappy, like, you know, the squatted trucks. But it's a 3-inch collector, so I would love to run 3-inch pipe. But, let's see, Ryan said, shit, yeah, man, if they fit anything, it's a win at that price. That's how I feel. And that's what I was telling Mattis whenever I showed them to her. I said $165 for long tube headers. I don't care if they came out of that box and went ching chong with some damn fried rice. I would have been happy with that. Lotus said, at least there's not Bear Club Reaper. Daryl said, Lotus, it was just sitting in the same place a year ago. Yeah. Remember, never done projects. Lotus said, the Forever Project. Yep. Kevin, Dad is on his way. He'll be here at approximately 7:30. But don't worry, Kevin. He's in the chat. He's listening, but he is driving. Cher Bear said, I pray that all you reading this talk to God daily and read your Bibles. I don't do a lot of reading the Bible, but I do have my own conversation with the Lord every day, but we don't talk religion, politics, or controversial subjects on this live. Lotus said, hey, that's the one that never gets done. Yeah, most of my stuff doesn't get done because, well, low on the priority list. But I do want to hit up Ace Fuel Injection and ask if I can get a sponsorship with Ace to put EFI on the orange truck and Black Betty at the minimum. Reaper said, and like I said, Annabelle would kill me if it was a gay bar. It's a happy bar. The nice little rainbow. Fugel Inc. said, yee har, my brother, I'm cranking my hog. Well, I hope it gets in your eye. Jacob said, it's like butt cheeks clapping when you turn the engine on. It's pretty close. Lotus said, Annabelle will be okay when she sees all the tips you will get. Yeah. Inc. said, I just had to replace my radiator, probably from cranking your hog too much. Lotus said, just the tip, though. Ryan said, I mean, at a gay bar, she won't have to worry about women hitting on you. And since you're not gay, dudes trying to flirt won't work, Reaper. Hey, you give them a nice little wink, and $20 is $20, Reaper. Kevin said, please, could you let me know how I can clean my fire? Don't use water. Just get a can of brake cleaner and just throw it in there. Carlos said, Lotus, we should go to the gay bar together when I come to the U.S. to visit you. Lotus said, throw gas on it, Kevin. It's like telling a woman when she's mad to calm down. It's gonna go great. Adam at Grease Spot Garage TV said, "What's up, Randy? What's up, Adam? Waiting on Dad to get here, and then I'm gonna hoppity dippity doppity back to my house, and we're gonna have a movie night. And then I got work in the morning." Kevin said, "I don't know how gutter auto corrected the fire." Help you clean your gutter. Get a long enough ladder, somebody to hold the ladder, and a pair of gloves, because that shit gonna be nasty. Rumpel said, "Hello, Randy Jr. Pop's back from boot camp. He's on his way. I heard he shaved his head." Kaidu L6V said, "You look like your favorite food is canned tuna." Close, but no cigar. I like pasta and seafood. Someone 6885 said, "Hi, Greenland." Hello, someone. Hello, someone. How are you? Goodness gracious, I am way behind. Let's see here. Daryl said, "Adam." Rumpel said, "Big boys." Hello. Adam said, "Pop's on his way back yet?" Yes, everybody. Dad is on his way. He said he'll be back about 7:30. Adam said, "Daryl." Rumpel said, "Lotus." Hello. Carlos said, "Sump Rumpel." Rumpel said, "Metal Arts." Hello. Daryl said, found a radiator, Adam. Nickel Pony said, "Evening all. How are you, Mr. Unbreakable?" Nickel Pony, I'm okay to be here, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully that cooking is still going good. I just made me a frozen dinner, and I'm already hungry because it was a healthy meal. Stupid junk. Rumpel said, "Grease Spot." Hello. Lotus said, "Same answer, Kevin. Gas and fire and matches." Adam said, "What one, Daryl?" Craig at Hanlon's Garage said, "Hello, everyone." Hello, Craig. How have you been? Adam said, "Craig." Israel Velasco 8041 said, "Poo-poo farts." Well, if you're poo-pooing, you're not farting, dude. You're shitting. Adam said, "Rumpel." Ryan said, "Hey, Hanlon." Adam said, "Lotus." Daryl said, "Vega 4 core. 309 doll hairs. Have to sell something now. I heard a man's in need of a right leg." Ryan said, "Everybody double tap your screen. I would appreciate it if you did like. We're showing 29 people and 22 thumbs up. Goodness gracious, we're way ahead of time. But hey, I'll take the thumbs up. Thank y'all for the thumbs up." Adam said, "Big." Lotus said, "What up, Adam?" In God We Poop, a.k.a. Damn, I don't remember the other one. Gang Gang. Bang Bang. Adam said, "Watch Ace. I have stories for you, Randy." Oh, really? Well, I can't afford a Holly. In God said, "How we doing?" We doing good. Hope you are. Adam said, "Bishop." Rumpel said, "Oh, Black Betty, my love, you can't keep us separated for long. I really just would like to have it where she would start and run better. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if the distributor twisted, if she's out of time. I do know that she has a drain on her battery, hence the kill switch. I need to put the lugs and studs on her because we don't need another wheel falling off. And then I need wheels and tires." But it was really good whenever I first put that motor in, first put that carburetor on it. You'd breathe on the key and she'd fire right up. Now y'all have seen she doesn't want to run hardly. So I hope nothing's wrong with the motor. Shouldn't be, but I want that truck to be doing more besides just sitting over there leaking ATF. Jane said, "Mi familia." Good evening, Jane. Carlos said, "Sup, Grease." Rumpel said, "Jane, hello." Adam said, "Rumpel, Jane." In God We Poop said, $20 is $20. Exactly. And remember, Reaper, it's not gay if you got socks on. Reaper said, "Annabelle is dying." Well, just the tip cures a lot of problems. That's all I'm saying. Jane said, "Hey, Adam." John Glad said, "There was a crotch rocket outside the gym this morning." I bet that thing was loud. Let's see. I lost it. Somebody got deleted. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Let's see. Jace is back and said hello, or hi. Hello, Jace. Hope you're doing well this evening. Jane said hi, Rumpel. Madison said hi. Hello, Madeline. Jane said hi, John. Hey, hi, Jace. Jace asked how I am doing today. I am doing well. I hope you are. Rumpel said hello to Madison. Lotus said hello, Madison. Ryan said, holy crap, he's far behind. My bad. Jane said, hi, Reaper. Craig said, Randy, you look like you're back to 100%. Are you feeling 100%? Most days I do. My knee's been hurting the last couple days. But other than that, I'm pretty well back to 100%, buddy. Jace said, hey again. Hello again, Jace. Daryl said, Maddie, Rumpel, Jane, Ryan. Jacob said, what's up, everybody? You making me laugh, R3. That's the best medicine. Ryan said, Madison. Daryl said, Craig. Jay said, wait, hold up a second. Where's the other guy? Dad is on his way back. He'll be here at approximately 7:30. So you got me for about another hour and 14 minutes. And I'm a little bit meaner than the bald guy. Jane said, hi, Ryan. Grease Spot Garage. Adam said, JD. Ryan said, sup, Jane. Lotus said, what up, Rumpel? And then Maria the alien said, little Randy. Hello, alien. Ryan said, hey, Jane. Lotus said, sup, Nick. Craig said, hey, Daryl. Maria said, long time no see. And I got my emo shirt on just for y'all. Jane said, hi, Carlo, Lotus, and Maddie. Lotus said, hello, Maria. Let's see here. Jane said, Craig, baby. Maria said, did you cut your hair? No. It's just you hadn't seen me in a couple days. Jane said, hi, Maria. Ryan said, hey, Maria. Craig said, Jane, baby. Carlo said, Madison, with a waving hand. Maria said, hi, Jane and Lotus. Daryl said, I have a chocolate malt with extra malt on its way. Take your word on that being good. It doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. Granted, I'm not much of a chocolate guy. Maria said, hello, Carlo. Carlo said, hello, Maria. Lotus said, that sounds tasty, Daryl. Jay said, where is Pops? He is on his way. He's about, probably by now, 60 miles or less to go. Maria said, can you bring the camera a little closer? We can't really see you. Is that any better? Jane said, hey, off topic. I knew it. Could not remember that for the life of me. Daryl said, he's on his way, Jane. Let's see here. I'm at Tony CC. Tony CC 17 said, I left my TV that I use as a monitor to my laptop on so long there's a permanent lines for my chart graphs. No way to get rid of these? I heard there's like some kind of something you can like play on there to help it. But I've never had that problem. Luckily, knocking on wood. Ryan at VR6 Project said he's on the road, Jane, probably 55 miles out by now. He's giving him better credit than me. He's probably running about 80 miles an hour. Madison said, hey, Rumpel, Lotus, Daryl, Ryan, and Carlo. Maria said, yeah, I think there's one man missing. Well, hey, when he gets here, I'm going to hop in the truck and I'm going to go home because Madison wants to have a movie night. And remember what I told you, Maria. She gets what she wants 364 days out of the year. But Valentine's Day, I'm not doing it. Let's see here. Off topic. So, what's up, Jane? Happy Thursday with a heart and a broccoli. Yeah, I like broccoli, though. Let's see here. Somebody else got timed out. Jesus. Let's see here. Jay said, well, how's everybody doing today? My day's good because I had no school today. So, yay for me. Well, that's good you had no school, but careful. If you keep having no school, then you'll take away your spring break. Or make you stay longer, or come in on the weekend. Jacob said, crap on the healthy meal. Bring the meat. I'm with that guy. Daryl said, R3, that didn't work. I've done everything I can think of, too. Then I don't know what to tell you, Daryl. I know the first few times I tried to put in the big SD card, it said SD card error, and I just blew it out real good. And it worked. Jane said, Jace, why no school? Tony said, help, please. Listen, I don't know a lot about electronics. I can tear them up. Adam said, that OptiSpark has always been a problem. From the moment they came out in 93, OptiSpark has been a problem. But, again, knocking on wood, I've not had problems out of them. But the problem I have is changing the OptiSpark to like the Gen 3 LS style computer for tunability. Because nobody around here does OBD2 to 1 tuning. Jay said, because of a snow day. Well, I don't envy you in the slightest. Let's see here. Off topic said tax return is almost here, which means so is membership. Start making my off topic plaque. Hey, when it comes in, just ask Lotus how it goes. You're going to get it. It's going to say N underscore God underscore we underscore poop. Unless you get it changed back. Jane said, off topic, my day was great. I'm glad. Carlos said, wait till you turn 48 years old or R3, you'll have man boobs. The hell I will. I want to do some running besides my mouth at some point, Carlo. But I already got the movies. Well, I wear a 2XL now so you don't see them as bad. Lotus said, how old is that car? Could be clogged jets, stiff gaskets. Probably a 10-year-old carburetor. It was the one that was on the big block. It's the same one that was at the Fun Run Cruisers drive-in in Ohio with Daryl. But yeah, you're talking it's a 10-year-old or better carburetor at this point. Adam said, "Oh, we talking truck?" Yeah, Adam. We talking Black Betty. For whatever reason, she just doesn't run like she used to. But that's why I would like to put EFI on it. I mean, I know that some are better than others, but $3,000, $4,000 by the time I get a whole system versus $2,000, I'd be willing to try the $2,000. Because if I try the $4,000, I don't like it. I'm out $4,000. If I'm out $2,000, I mean I'm out $2,000. But Rumpel said so. Black Betty is basically Black Dyla right now. All that got real dark. I don't know what that is. But now Black Betty, she's just kind of hanging out, to be honest. But it's just like the red truck. She needs love. The Toyota needs love. That's the only issue of having 20-some vehicles is just you don't have enough time in the day to take care of all of them. And our focus right now is we got to get ready for Cletus's event in April. And once that's done, like we're wanting to go to Caraway this weekend, but it's hard to tell you if we're going to get to go or not because I've made no progress on anything but opening a package today. And yesterday I did nothing. Jane said, why is Annabelle dying? Hopefully just from laughing. Maria said, you're so much behind. That's okay. I will be behind until Dad gets here. I'm okay with it. Daryl said, wow, R3, you're like an hour behind the chat today. No kidding. Reaper said, laughing, Jane. Lotus said, we was picking at Reaper, as we do. Jane said, shoot, I missed it. Exactly. Reaper said, 2 more days until the surprise. Surprise show day. Carlos said, man, boobies are half as good as women's. Jane said, he can't be an hour behind. He's only been home 16 minutes. How about 25? God dang, am I 10 minutes behind? Shit. Pork Chop said, hey everyone. Hello, Pork Chop. Maria said, you're meaner. I think you're just more honest. And people say I'm mean. But you can't call me a liar. Nickel Pony said, cooking going good. She did make a pancake thick enough to make me recap for a big rig tire. Hey, that's okay. The thicker, the better. It's like a milkshake. Maria said, nice Elmo shirt, emo. Or, God, I said Elmo. Nice emo shirt, emo boy. Thank you. Tim C. Carthy said hi. Hello, Tim. Or Timmy C. Or Tim C. Daryl said, that's how far behind he is, Jane. Lotus said, it's a miracle, Jane. Craig said, shoveled off something. And then people got deleted and moved. Oh my God. Yeah, I am way behind. Jesus Christ. Okay. Craig said, shoveled off my roof today. It was about 2 foot deep. You keep that up there in Canada. Tim said, how are you? Daddy said 51, so I guess he was 51 miles away. Lo said he needs painted nails and eyeshadow to be emo. Jay said, hey, Nickel, enough syrup, and you can choke that pancake down. Exactly. Jay said, I hope everyone's doing good today because you know something's wrong with the pipe again, and it exploded. So there's poop everywhere, the ambulance, because I crashed into somebody. Let's see here. Memory the Fisherman said, hi from Daytona. Well, hello. Welcome back. Rumpel said, I'll be lurking. He's way too behind in chat now. Give me a minute. Maria said, 51 seconds and you'll die? Maybe. Jay said, there's too much poop. Okay, I'm not reading that. Jane said, hey, memory. Jane said, pay attention, Pops. Drive. Maria said, what movie are you going to watch? I don't know. I told her to pick it. Neil Capone said, LOL, that's right, Miss Jane, but out of butter now. Memory said, I'm excited for Cletus McFarland in both races. I'm excited to see how it goes. Hopefully this ARCA 200 goes better than it did last time. Lois said, you can try degaussing it. Might work, but real no way. Oh, yeah. To burn in the display, you make active display set it to avoid burning. Okay. Maria said, I want to watch a movie, but I was confused what movie I want to watch. That's usually how I go. Lotus said, me too, Cleet. Go. Jane said, LOL, nickel butter is good too. Butter cheeks. Lotus said, Maria, Talladega Night, the legend of Ricky Bobby. There you go. Lotus said, you will love it. It's a very good movie. It's about him as a race car driver. Maria said, what kind of movie is it? It's a racing movie. Ryan said, I want to see one of the Camaros coming swapped. Ooh, I'm going to need a lot more money to do that. Lotus said, comedy. Jane said, Maria, it's a comedy. Maria said, just wear a bra. Nope, Dad saw that in Atlanta. It's freaking weird for a man to wear one. Lotus said, guys, will she like Talladega Nights? I think she will like it. Maria said, it'll help, LOL. If I wear a bra, I'm going to do an entire video of me in nothing but a bra and a thong. And I'm going to make sure everyone watches it. Let's see here. In God We Poop said, I think I'm addicted to V8. Could have had a V8. Jay said, I liked it, Lotus. Lotus said, it may be time to rebuild on that car. Probably is. Daryl said, trade time, grow up. Yep. John Glad said, it's only money. Hey, I can make more money. I'm not ashamed to spend it, but I've only gotten 1.5 paychecks since I've been back to work. Craig said, anyone else getting a pop-up that says you have enough jewels for a gift? I don't. I spent all mine. Jane said, all us gals need love. Daryl said, send them, Craig. Ryan said, trade time. We don't need your comments or your watch time. Read the room. Quit being a turd and go flush. Yeah. Maria said, to be honest, the reviews on the movie is good. It's a very good movie. It will make you laugh like hell. Let's see. Ryan said, Arthas, we aren't snowflakes. We just aren't here for your dumb shit. Yeah. As your Lotus said, hey, don't go blow up the cars right before Cleat. You think behind now. Wait till you have to do another motor swap. The motor swap wouldn't be the problem. It would now be sourcing a motor. Rumpel said, all black Dahila is the old, very infamous murder case. Aspiring actress found oft and Yeah, no, that's not the case. Jane said, who will ruin channel? Hopefully y'all don't try to ruin this channel. I do a good enough job at it. Let's see here. In God said, what are those car events about? What do you do with those? The Cletus ones, he does a like NASCAR style Crown Vic race on Friday, and on Saturday it's all burnouts. And we do pretty good, but some of them, most of them, really put us to shame. Daryl said, did FedEx show? Yes, I had Justin come here, and FedEx is the ones who delivered the headers. Lotus said, Maria, it's a really fun movie. Jane said, that troll was okay. He wasn't inappropriate, just too stupid to chat. And it's okay, he's gone. Ryan said, you spin the tires and smoke them out. Exactly. Maria said, if I wanted to have a car one day, what do you recommend? Depends on what you want. You want something reliable, get an old school Honda or Toyota. They never die. Ryan said, Toyota, if you want something reliable, Maria. Well, there it is. Madison said, send us more snow. No! Bryant said, what are you choking on? Not nothing you got. Maria said, I thought the bald guy is slow reader. I do a lot more commentating. Reaper said, I'm going to pop the question, Peanut Gallery. That's the surprise. I read it the other night, and I say go for it. You got this. John, said. Daryl said, no politics, religion, or trolling at all. I don't like it, but some of the trolling I can deal with. Floki is back, said, hey, we love your show. Well, I'm glad you do. How's the cats doing? Terry said, where's Pops? Pops read better. Terry, he's on his way. Ryan said, Pops is on his way. Floki said, glad and grateful to be here. I'm glad. Let's see. Bryant said, how many people are in the office today? You're looking at them. Just me. Terry said, you read too slow. Well, Terry, you get on up over here and you read them. Because I try to have interaction with everybody instead of just read it and go. Jay said, yeah, I'm not reading your stupid shit comments. Beachy570 said, hi. Hello, Beachy. Terry said, where's Pops? He's on his way back from Atlanta. Shit, clean your ears. Corey's Outdoor Adventure said, aye, mate. Hello, Mike. Maria said, he's on his way to save the chat. Exactly. Jane said, Jace, enough of the poop stuff, okay? Yeah, it's not as fun as you think it is. Da-dum, I'm behind. And, okay, there we go. Ryan said, listen, to all the trolls, I'm not sure what you think we are here for. Quit being useless and go bother some other channel. Hey, go to the channels where people are just laying there sleeping the entire freaking live and go say stupid shit on there. Thank you. Bryant said, hey, Maria and God We Poop said commented at 5:26 just for reference, gang gang. Holy shit, that was 5 minutes ago. Jane said, LO off top, keeping him on his toes. Terry said, I will be back when Pops is here. See ya. Mary said, LOL, no thanks, I don't want to see it. Matt said, you will not be doing that. I don't even know what I will be doing or not. Jane said, OMG, no. Oh, my bra and thong. Well, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. And if you were, I'm not listening anyway. Lotus said 10 million views right there, Randy. Brah. And God We Poop said, I know, Jane. Maria said, Maddie, control your man. Can't control me. Ryan said, no, our job is not to grow the channel. Well, who told you that? Terry said, he's behind in the chat. I can always just skip to the bottom. In God We Trust said, why do I feel hungover? I didn't drink. Wait till you get old. Daryl said, Tony, drop it or leave. Craig said, using inappropriate words get you deleted, period. Terry said, just stop chatting until Pop comes. Maria said, how many people saw the pics I sent? Is it just you two? Yeah, I told you I wasn't going to say anything about what you sent. Craig said, the moron just shut you off for 24 hours. There you go. I don't even know what all they were saying. Let's see. Ryan said, Tony, I'm glad you have this idea of whatever you think things should be like. But, buddy, you're a clown. You aren't entertained by your useless heckling. Hey, just remember, if you think you can do better, I strongly invite you to go start doing lives. You need 50 subscribers, so you're going to have to stop being a dick whistle and go do something productive with your life besides trying to suck on your mama's titty. All right? So, I invite you to try to do these lives, and where you got people coming in and you got 30 people chatting at one time, I invite you to be able to keep up with all of them and reading every single word that everybody sends. If you can do it, great. If you're better than me, it's okay. I'm not in competition with you. I'm confident with me. Lotus said, Tony, piss off somewhere. Yep. And God We Poop said, new favorite accents from Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Maria said, my dad used to have Toyota. Hey, I got the Toyota down there. That thong gun's good. Carlos said, I see them, Maria. Not. Lotus said, Toyotas are good cars. They run forever. Exactly. Just again, don't get nothing brand new. They don't do good now. Ryan said, Toyota's a good car for what it is. Safe, reliable, and good on fuel. Exactly. Come on, in God We Poop. As long as you got socks on. Lotus said, a RAV4 would be cool for you, Maria. Blind spots everywhere. Reaper said, how the hell am I supposed to know, Peanut Gallery? I know everything. Just ask Maria. I'm everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. And I remember you talking about it at the gay bar that I totally wasn't at. Daryl said, tap times 2. Double tap. Thank you. Floki said, the kitties are doing amazing. Got them some new toys and catnip. They're much happier now. Thank you for asking. I'm glad to hear that. Kane was up back here on the couch, but he's out there now. But he's doing pretty damn good. Let's see here. In God We Poop said tap 37 times. Carlos said, Maria, I'll send you a pic of me when I was in preschool. Jane said, hi, Flo Key. Eli the plumber said Photoshop Amazon box. Why? Hold on. If you're still in here, that's real good Photoshop, ain't it? Let's see here. In God We Poop said catching up. Whoop whoop. Craig said, hey, big boys. Maria said, okay, Carlo. Carlo said, sup, Hanlon, which is Craig. Like, Craigslist. Jay said, oh, man, how awful bra and thong would be. Oh, yeah. Okay. Craig said, don't encourage him, Jane. Jane said, Maria, your pictures are beautiful. Wouldn't know, didn't see him. Lotus said, dancing to some weird 80s music. Because we can dance if we want to. We can leave this world behind. Jane said, go, Randy, go. Go, Randy, go. Now you're just trying to get Madison mad at me. Lotus said, do this make you Randy. I'm Randy. Bryant said, I used to shovel long driveways, no sweat. Today I shoveled half a short driveway with a cold and crawled back gasping. I can't even bend over and tie my boots without gasping. Mogo said, Bad Bunny, woo ha, great for Americans. It'd be best if you don't ask me about that stupid shit. Maria said, thanks, Jane, with 3 white hearts. Jane said, Brian, heavy snow. In God We Poop said, sorry for gay joke comment. Gay jokes are hilarious. I just don't want anybody to think that we're not welcoming of everybody. We just don't talk about the gay shit. Unless it's Reaper going to his job. Maria said, gay bar. I saw Randy there. They wouldn't let you in. You're a woman. Reaper said, that's it. I'm quitting my job. No, don't quit your job. Maria said, and don't ask me why I was there. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to ask you. Melina 589X said, is it gay bar? No, this is a YouTube facility that just so happens to sell tires, but Reaper works at a gay bar. Lotus said, LOL, do the jokes keep coming, Reaper? Oh, it's easy to make fun of stuff like that. The jokes write themselves. Jay said, LOL, Maria, remember that night we all went to the gay bar? Look, that's the best place to go for a ladies' night out. You don't have to worry about getting hit on because they're freaking gay. In God We Poop said, ugh, I think I'm sick. I hate to hear that. Ryan said, okay, everybody, I got to run. Got to give them hell. Remember to give them hell. See, Ryan, thanks for coming in, buddy. Have a wonderful night if you're still here. JH7 said, hi, hello, buddy. How you doing? Bryant said, I don't know how those big streamers do it, regardless of their opinion. Big streamers like Hassan keep track of hundreds of chats at once. I would be very interested to see how they do it. They probably definitely read better than I do. But you go into some of the big streamers' lives or Twitch streams, I mean, it's just constant. But you don't usually see them big streamers like that reading every comment. But it's very impressive that they keep up with it. Lotus said later, Ryan. Craig said, what can you call a cow with no legs? Bacon. Maria said, yeah, Jane, I remember. Jane said, take care, Ryan. Eli, the plumber, said, listen, buddy, I'm sitting here with the Photoshop expert. He's confirmed the box is fake, and you're busted. Get over it. You got me, Eli. You got me. Congratulations for being the first person to figure out that was Photoshop. Craig said, ground beef. J87 said, I have been sick all week. Hopefully you can go back to school tomorrow. I hope you can, if that's what you want to do. But hey, I hope you get to feeling better, buddy. Gabe Owners said, hello, chat. I'm new to the stream. Well, welcome in, Gabe. We do this from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. And we do a live on Sunday morning, Eastern Standard, for me to cook breakfast. Welcome in. It's 2 hours of time that we just want to spend to hang out and chat and talk about good things. We read every chat. Jane said, hey, JH7. Bryant said, doggy. 7 times longer if you do it like that. Jane said, hope you're not trolling, Gabe. And if he is, we'll figure it out. Craig said, hello, Gabe. Welcome. Reaper said, I remember when it was Ford jokes. Same thing. Gabe or Ford jokes, same things. Hugh said, hello, Scoots. Hello, Hugh. Craig said, no politics, please. Yeah, I would appreciate it. Because I would hurt some feelings if we start talking about that stuff. Jane said, hey, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, Reaper. Hello, Craig. Lotus said, oh, we still got 4 jokes. Oh, we definitely do. Hugh said, hello, Jane. Maria said, my dad is making pickles and the house is full of pickle smell. How can I sleep now? Close your eyes with the dark room and without the crazy redneck guy in America talking, and I bet you'll fall asleep. You sit still for like 3 minutes, you fall asleep. Craig said, Hugh, the thing running yet? Hugh, who's going to get their V8 running quicker, you or me? Can you do it before me? Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Excuse me. In God We Poop said, dude, are y'all going to record or stream the car show stuff? If we go to a regular car show, we would gladly record and stream. While we're at Cletus's event, he does ask no live streaming because he does have the Freedom Plus. But you can record and you can make your own video. We will definitely record while we are at the Cletus event, but we cannot go live. If they catch us going live, they will kick us off the property. Hugh said, hello, Gabe. Hello, JHH. Did I miss Gabe? Or is it a different Gabe? Oh, it's a different Gabe. Okay, my bad. Jacob at John Deere Faith Turbo said, hello, Grandpa Vic. Hold on. Oh, he said, what do you call a chicken with no feathers? A three-legged chicken. Jane said, LOL, cow with no legs, bacon. I knew the answer was ground beef, but it makes you question it. You're feeding the algorithm hamster. Thank you. Hugh said, hello, Eli. JH7 said, thank you. Gabe said, thank you. You're welcome. Listen, everybody's welcome. All we ask is be respectful. Hugh said, hello, Maria. Barely coding. Yeah, sounds like the golden prize winner for stupid shit I've read tonight. John Deere said, hello, Grand Pitovic. Lotus said, sup, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, Lotus. JH7 said, hey, Jane. Barely coding. Yep, you have officially won first place for the dumbest shit I have read in this live. Hugh said, hello, John Deere. Daryl said, Hugh. Maria said, Reaper, why do you work at a gay bar? He likes his customers. Likes his customers. Jack Russell, 9569, said, I just took the meanest shit at Walmart and I ain't even flushing it. You one of them assholes. Look, you can take a mean shit, but just flush it. Because what if I got to go shit and that's the only open stall? Then I got to shit on top of you nasty MFer. Craig said, Jane, as far as I know, bacon doesn't come from a cow. Robert said, peace, love, respect, honor, discipline, persistent, perseverance, and persistent, or whatever. Always and forever toward everyone from the UK and the world of the universe itself. I hope everyone is well. Robert, that was a very nice message. Thank you. From the America lands, North Carolina. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day as well. You're what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours ahead of us. So it's what? Dang near 12 o'clock midnight for y'all. Hugh said, hello, Daryl. Daryl said, I'll be back shortly. Well, hell, you're probably back already. Reaper said, I spent the day upgrading the Ram, and I'm hoping Annabelle will cook me dinner. You see, that's how I know you work at a gay bar, because you drive a Ram or a Ford. Come on now. Jokes are just that easy. Captain Bad Bill said, what's smoking? Tires. I got some I need to smoke. But it's not Saturday yet. Jane said, hi, Robert. Welcome. Hugh said, hello, Captain. And yup. Yeah, Hugh, I am racing. Well, yup, if you got your motor running, I guess I lost. Carlos said, I sent you a pic, Maria. Hugh said, nope, LOL. Captain Bad Bill said, Vic. Elevator 8220 said he's at the hotel. No, Dad's on his way back, and there's no elevators here, except for you. But Dad did use the elevator to get down to the lobby. Jane said, hi, Bill. Hugh said, I ordered the torque converter today, $1,534. Man, I wanted to vomit. Golly. Ugh. But 6L80s, I've heard that is a very common fail point. So, like you said, it hurts to buy it, but you should only have to buy it once. Lotus said he's going to be watching from Freedom Plus. Well, that would be awesome. Craig said that's two people that think bacon comes from a cow. Now, I know it comes from a pig, not a cop. Like, you know, the one that goes oink, oink. Hugh said, hello, Carlo. Carlo said, sup, Hugh. Hugh said, I'm supposed to pick up the 6L90 tomorrow. Cool. Lois said, where are you keeping this hamster, Randy? Up my bum. Hugh's laughing. Liberal triggerer said, I shot a hamster out of a potato gun one time, pissed off the tree huggers. Bet you pissed off PETA, too. Hugh said, courtesy flush. Oh, I love walking out of the bathroom saying, man, that was a double flusher. And they say, well, you only flushed once. Exactly. Olivia said, ew, it's not Pop Pops. Ew, it's freaking Olivia. Maria says, speaking of pics, I was watching my old pics. When I was a little kid, laughed a lot. One of the pictures, I was putting my feet on my dad's face. You're still a little kid. You're like 19. Not even 19 yet. Lois said, I bet it did. I'm guessing the little hamster didn't have a parachute. Jane said, hey, Olivia. Hugh's laughing. Olivia said, hello, Jane. Hugh said, hello, Olivia. Lotus said, what's up, Olivia? Coco-T2000 is waving with the blue mouth. Hello, Coco. The Cocoa Puffs are still in the back, but you can't really see them because of the chair. Olivia said, hey, Hugh, and hi, Lotus. Jane said, can you see the hamster stepping on a parachute? I would probably shit a brick if I saw a damn hamster go flying through the hair and just all of a sudden start floating down with the little parachute. Hugh said, we're hoping Grandma is better so we can come up Saturday. Hugh, stay posted on that. We don't really know if we're going to go or not yet. We still got a lot of work to do before we can get Fireball ready. And God We Poop said, dude, as someone that grew up a hippie, I freaking love redneck culture now that I'm older. Well, there's good and bad with some rednecks. I prefer a classy hillbilly. Kevin said, I'm here for you. That goes out to you there, Padre. Maria said, Olivia with 369 white hearts. If you squint hard enough, they look orange. Hugh said, hello, Kevin. Reaper said, I'm honestly going to drive to y'all and give you $1 and leave. Okay. Maria said, is he scared of elevator or something? No. It's just the guy's name was Elevator. Olivia sent Maria with 4 or 5, 10, 14 purple hearts. Elevator said, did you have a Great Dane dog? Yeah. He's right there. We also had one, her name was Asha. That was 20 some years ago. Daryl at Metal Art Customs also had one. And God We Poop said, although most hippies in Humboldt are hip necks, hippie redneck. How do you get to be a hippie redneck? Olivia said, cops go oink oink too. Well, you're looking at the wrong cops. Jane said, off topic, I'm the OG of hippies. Was a child of the 60s and 70s. Oh, she was definitely the one out there with the damn perm, the headband, the damn glasses going, make peace, not war, yo. Hugh said, yes, the converter is a single disc and it smokes them. This one is billet, braised, and a triple disc, 3000 to 3200 style. That's going to be awesome. I've heard they actually do surprisingly good on daily driving that too. Carlo said, ciao, Bella, Olivia. Olivia said, ew. And then ciao, Carlo. And God We Poop sent 3 100s for 2 joules apiece, which for people that don't know math, that's 6 joules. Hugh said, with my 327 rear gear, it will lay the power down and have good street manners and last. Well, that last part, that lasting part, is very important. Craig said, Hugh, that only happens if it runs, LOL. Ooh, he hit you where it hurts. And God We Poop said, do you guys make money when someone donates jewels, or does YouTube? We're supposed to get something off of the jewels. I'm not sure how it counts, but I'm sure we get a little something off of it. But you know YouTube's going to get theirs, just like anyone else. Hugh said, that's true, R-O-L, or R-O-F-L-M-F-A-O. I said that wrong. Maria said, I still don't understand the redneck thing. A stereotypical redneck lives in a single wide trailer, missing about half of his teeth, has a mullet, and is about that big around, and probably is married to his sister. It's just a Southern American stereotype. Uh, it's one of those, there are people like that, but whenever you say the South, that's generally what people's mind go to. Hugh said, we still want to come up, burnouts or not. I'm picking up her meds on the way home. We will see. All right, Hugh, just let us know, buddy. But we'd love to have you up here. But however you do it, I hope she gets to feeling better. And we hope if we can, we'll see you Saturday. Craig said, Hugh, I'm just busting your balls. You have all the goodies now to make it happen. Exactly. He's got this. Now, if his isn't running, I need mine running first just so I can say, ha ha. No, I'm kidding you. Carlos and Maria, check your email later on. Careful, Carlo. She doesn't like email. Reaper said, I couldn't think of anything else, Peanut Gallery. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. Maria said, okay. Hugh said, I know it, brother. Olivia said, Maria, it's a derogatory term for Southern people that come from the Civil War. Just like carpetbagger. Lotus said, come on, Reaper, make it rain dollars if you're going to make the drive. Look, you can throw pennies at me for all I care. Maria said, still don't understand. You have to explain it like you explain it to 2-year-olds. A term that is meant for people who live south, east of the United States that's supposed to hurt their feelings. Olivia said, I don't know. I'm looking at one now that went oink oink. Hugh said, all the big ticket items is bought, just need a drive shaft and nice and dime stuff, nickel and dime stuff. I understand that. And God We Poop said, hippies are caused by multi-decade long culture of living in pot farms. Pot farms will turn you into a hip neck real fast. Never mind, I understand that. Jane said, I had straight hair parted in the middle, sometimes to my waist, bell-bottom pants, and a doobie hanging out of my mouth. Hugh said, Austin at Circle D said the 6L80 and 90 has become the go-to trans as they can't keep them on the shelf. Really? I see people swapping them in a lot more, but I didn't know that they were more popular than the 4L80 and the 4L60. Olivia said, Jane, you were wearing a saber-tooth Tiberton in your teenage years. She was probably wearing a like a Roman Empire, gown. Hugh said, yeah, man, you know it's been lately. Yeah, I know. Maria said, Jane, you should make your hair curvy. Kay, think it'll look great on you. Hugh's laughing. Maria said, yes, I hate email. Well, rumor has it I may or may not know what an alien looks like now. Jane said, nope, Olivia, that wasn't in time. Hugh said, have an awesome night, everyone. Time clock is calling me. See ya, Hugh. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Let me know about Saturday, and we'll let you know what we got going on. Maria said, it's so confusing and hard to use. It's made for old people. You can do it. Jane said, take care, Hugh. Greg said later, Hugh. All in one space retracted their message. Reaper said, nah, I'll fly my co-workers and customers out to y'all and turn the shop into the Pink Pony Club. Hey, I will blast the shit out of that song. We'll have a hell of a time. Jane said, Maria, LOL, you could send to my phone. Nickel Pony said, what's the movie list tonight, Randy? Don't know, buddy. I told Madison to pick the movie, and she just sent back, okay. Okay. So I have no idea. Roscoe Chicken and Waffle 6317 said, what's cracking, guys? Watch out for never trust a hippie. God bless him. Well, what's cracking, Roscoe, is when I sneeze and hold my sneezes in, my back cracks. Hurts like hell. But yeah, never trust a hippie. Roscoe sent an American flag, dollar bills with wings, and a prayer hands. Jane said, hi, Roscoe. Maria said, Jane, did you see the message I sent? AutoVision71 said, hello, de la Fox. Hello. Olivia said, I gotta go, bye. See you, Olivia, thanks for coming in. Craig said, send me a message, Maria, LOL. Maria, if you did not know, Craig Hanlon is in Canada. Olivia said, D&D stuff, have fun. Hey, have fun with Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe some Pink Pony Club. Am I right, guys? Pink Pony Club. Mm-hmm. Maria said, I told you it wasn't me. She's just a random girl on my phone. Well, I'll call Jane after the live's over and say, hey, does your picture look like my picture? Because if they look alike, I'm going to think it's the same person. Roscoe said, good for you. Nah, that shit starts cracking and popping. Freaking hurts. In God We Poop said, I want your dog. May I adopt your dog? No. We just got it. We just got him. He's a good all-around dog. We'll tell you, we've had some disagreements here lately. But he's a damn good dog. We just need to get out of the puppy phase where he's getting into stuff. And God We Poop sent 100 for 2 jewels again. Thank you. That is 8 total jewels. Reaper said, y'all are too much. I get that a lot. Listen, there's a line that if you cross it, it's too much, or you shouldn't have crossed that line. Listen, I live across that line. Just ask Madison. Maria said, oh, wow, Canada. Exactly. And he's like, way up there. It's cold up there. Roscoe said, yes, almost the weekend, and finally this snow melting. Roscoe let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday was in the mid-60s. Today was in the mid-50s. And I am glad to report that almost all the snow's gone, and it makes me so happy. Maria said, I love Canada. I've never been. I would like to go. I've heard either they're the nicest people or they're the meanest people. I like it. Jane said, Maria, I just responded. I'll try to figure out Instagram for you, Maria. Yeah, Instagram's a lot easier. Craig said, time for some supper. Got to go talk to you guys later. See you, Craig. Thanks for coming in, buddy. The Elixir the Mixer said, are you watching the Olympics? Nope. I watched that one Olympic athlete on TikTok, and all I can say is the Olympics ain't what they used to be. Maria said, Jane, if he sent you a message, be selfish and don't respond this time, please. No. I'll pick the phone up and I will call her. And if she doesn't answer, I'm going to leave her a message saying, Jane, it's Randy. Answer your damn phone. It's the green button. Let's see here. Jane said, take care. Craig and God We Poop said, the last video you guys posted with the dog warmed my soul. That was he loves to play like that, dude. And he will play, and then he will get tired. He won't come up here and lay on the couch. And God We Poop sent 100 for 2 jewels. Thank you. Jane said, hi, Delixer. Dave Workman sent bronze medal for 50 jewels. Well, thank you, Dave Workman. And God We Poop sent a flower for 30 jewels. Reaper said, I'll come down there and throw the Benjamins. Hey, sounds like a good idea to me. Roscoe sent the Italian hand twice and the praying hands twice and said, perfect. Delixer the Mixer said, hi, Jane. Jane said, Maria, be proud. You are beautiful. Ralph Crockett. So what's up, old boy? What's up, Ralph? How's it kicking? Elevator said, never done projects. Elevator, would you like a tour? I will gladly give you a tour around the shop and you can see what's inside and why it is never done projects. Delixer said, Canadians are nice in rural areas, but not very nice in big cities. Sounds like Americans. Jane said, Reaper, can you come up here and throw some Benjamins? I need a new car. Maria said, yes, please, Jane. If I stop texting you on email, the only way left is to send you a message in OWL, just like Harry Potter movie. Jane said, okay, I don't need a new car. I want a new car. Hey, there you go. Delixer says, in Toronto, if you say hi to a stranger, sometimes they'll look at you like there is something wrong with you. Yep, I do that. Does nothing special 6680 is waving. What's up, buddy? How have you been? Maria said, it's not about proud or anything, but I don't usually send my pictures to anybody or anyone, only my best friends. And I just like being mysterious. But now I lost that. Oh, I'm glad to hear that we're your best friends. Listen, you can stay mysterious. It's okay. I'm not very good with faces and names. I'll remember a face, but it's hard for me to remember a name. But it's all right. Listen, I got fish memory, remember? I got the green skin. That's all I remember. Jane said, I was washing the salt off my car and found a new dent passenger side in a place that I have no clue how it got there. It's up high. That, Jane, is called a senior moment. Dino Carlo said, blessings from Jersey. Well, blessings from North Carolina, buddy. Matthew said, howdy, y'all. Hello, Matthew. Nathan said, shout out. Shout out, please. Out! Does nothing special. Says work, sleep, rinse, repeat. LOL. Yep. I go to work. I come here. I go to work. Make a video. Do the lives. Go home. Sleep. Wake up. Shower. Repeat. Some people are kind of surprised of how much me and Dad do and just never stop. Jane said, welcome, Jersey. Maria said, LOL. I can't remember the face or the name. I remember if I see somebody's face, but I am horrible. And I mean absolutely horrible with names. Reaper said, I think I got about 10 mil and it's going to cap at 15. That is awesome. Savage Biscuit 2.0 said, hey, NDP crew, been watching you guys for a minute and love the vibe of your channel. Just wondering if you worship throbbing, hard, fast, fat, and juicy. Yeah, absolutely. Look, you don't see it in the background? Oh, no, never mind. That's in the back of your ass. Jane said, hi, Nathan. Maria said, you are my best friend by mistake. I'll take it. Still a best friend. Carlos said, am I one of your friends, Maria? Delixer the Mixer said, I can't remember names either. Look, y'all, it took me an hour and 1 minute to catch up on chat. An hour and 1 minute. But Delixer, I am horrible with names. I'll see somebody out and about that I used to know. Like, you know that song, that Somebody I Used to Know? And I'll look at them, and I'm like, I know who these people are. But then it kind of dawns on me. I don't remember their name. I'm like, hey, buddy. Jane said, hi, does nothing. Maria said, yes, everyone in the chat is my friend, but not everyone is best friend. Bruno said, bro, my uncle broke a tooth on a boat. Well, that sounds like it's painful. Pro said, what do you guys think about the working class owning the means of production? Here's the way I look at it. You will always need worker bees. Okay? Could you stop licking your asshole? Thank you. You will always need worker bees, okay? And I'm not saying that people are expendable or anything anywhere near that, okay? But if you don't have the people who are like the managers or the people above them that supply the machinery, you don't have worker bees. It's a delicate balance. Do I think we can pay people better than we do? Yeah. Or we continue to pay people what we do now, but we make things cheaper. Profit margins are a son of a bitch. I think people want to mark stuff up too high and they're trying to get rich off of one person. I'd rather make a nickel off of two people than a dime off of one. Jane said, you caught up. Whoop! Hey, I can catch up. Catch up. Does nothing special said, hey, Jane. Delixer's laughing. Bruno said, psh, jump over his face. Maria said, my best friend ever. I know her since I was 5 and we still together. I think this is real friendship. The true test is if you're going to school together or whatever, or you live right up the road from each other or something, and you move away from each other. I had friends in school that, we weren't like super, super close, but we were friends for many, many years. And you're talking as soon as we graduated, I've not heard another word from them. But it's a two-way street. If you're always the one making the effort and doing the talking and making the initial trying to make friends or conversation, it's amazing what happens whenever you stop putting in the effort. Reaper said, all right, y'all, Annabelle cooked dinner and I'm going to go get fat. Y'all keep it safe and remember, keep it silly. Have a good night, Reaper. Be careful at the gay bar. If you start getting fat, they really like the plushy guys. Have a good night, buddy. Enjoy your dinner. Delixer the Mixer said, would you ever eat ketchup and ice cream? I tried it and it was all right. I will take your word for it. I will pass. Jane said, take care, Reaper. Maria said, I just met a girl in college and she said to me, you think I know you? And we found out that we were friends when we were 3 or 4 years old because men don't text their friends daily. Maria, I have zero issue whatsoever of talking to people every day. I would actually enjoy communicating with people every day. But there's some people, if you stop communicating, like if I stop sending a message first, I will never hear from them again. But I was riding the train north today, And I looked out the window and I saw a lady in a white Chevy Avalanche and looked like her grandson taking pictures and videos of the train. It was one of my old teachers. She lives right down the road from me. And I went to school with her younger son from like first grade all the way through school. And the day we graduated was the day we stopped talking. It didn't matter if I text him or not. Yeah. Jay said, Delixer, that's something Pops might eat. Mike at Lone Ridge Garage said, hello, Randy. Hello, Mike. How are you doing today? JJJJ43GU said, is the dog alive? Yes, he was just eating his own ass. Grandma Vic said, hi, Randy3. Hello, Grandma. Heard you're not feeling the best, but hopefully you get to feeling better if y'all want to come up Saturday. Maria said, LOL, if I saw my message with my female friends, you'd start to think I'm gay. That's apparently the men's group chat, too. Does nothing special is waving at Mike. Grandma said, hi, Jane. Reaper said, I'm going to quit my job. Don't quit your job. They knew what I make fun of. Grandma said, hi, Mike. Mike said, hello, does nothing special. Jane said, Maria, I'm a horrible best friend. I may not talk to my friends for years, but when I see them, it's like yesterday. That's a true best friend right there. You don't have to communicate every day, but whenever you talk again, might have been months or years, but when you finally talk again, it's like you never missed a conversation. You don't get people like that much anymore. Grandma said, hi, Maria. Mike said, hi, Grandma. Jane said, hi, Mike. Prolet said, fair answer, but what if those managers and people providing resources were just working class Joes like you and me instead of Elon Musk? That dude has more money than most countries. I agree with that. But, just like here, I have a 8,000 square foot building, 9 bays. I do not do anything here, but me and Dad do tires and maybe Justin. And I have 6.5 acres. I'm not allowed to cut trees anymore. Just a forewarning. I'm not allowed to cut trees because I dropped one on myself and almost died. I spent 4 months in a wheelchair. So I need either a skid steer or an excavator. I am the owner of the building. Okay? So, in theory, at this point, I am a worker bee. I have all the tire changing equipment here. I have the initial hundreds of thousands of dollars invested here. I want to have events here. But now, I need a piece of machinery. If I want an excavator, I'm going to spend $100,000. If I want a nice skid steer, I'm going to spend $40,000. And then if some just John Blow wants to come in and wants me to pay him $50 an hour, and I'm still paying all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm not saying that I need to be making $200 on each tire I sell. I'm not saying that. Because I keep my profit margins low, and all I want to do is keep my doors open. Do I think people make too much money? Absolutely. I mean, if this drink right here, this 12-ounce Mountain Dew, 160 calorie can, costs me 5 cents to make, and I sell it for $1, dude, that's a 95% increase in profit. That's ridiculous. My opinion. All right, if I make everything involved with this can for 50 cents, I should be able to sell it for $1. But if it costs me 5 cents, I should sell it for a dime. I should sell it for 10 cents. My opinion. All right. But if you're so busy because your prices are low that you don't have time for yourself anymore, it's time to go up on price. Because, buddy, your time's worth something too. Mike said, hi, Jane. Jane said, hi, Grandma. How are you? Carlos said, sup, Mike. Box fan said, sup, gang, gang. Want to bang, bang? I've never tried that energy drink, but I'd be willing to. Carlos said, hola, Grandma. Como está? Muchas gracias. If I said that right. Grandma said, got food poison and my stomach still hurts. I hate to hear that, Grandma. Hugh said he was picking you up some medicine, so I really hope that hurts. Or not hurts. God dang, I hope that helps. I'm sorry. Maria said, not my friend is not like that. We might don't text for a couple weeks, but when we talk back, we go to the same as we were, so it doesn't affect our friendship. Nobody says you got to talk every day to keep a friendship, but sometimes it is nice. Grandma said, hi, big boy toys. Reaper said, my ram. Rawr. Does nothing special. Says, don't feel bad. Most of my friends disappeared after high school, too. I think it may be for the best. I think about that often. You know, we talked about it in one of the lives like maybe a week ago or something. Well, it just told me the front door detected. Hold on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Okay, go. Go. Hey.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
I texted you.
Hey, you cannot go straight out of here. I'm just telling you. All right, come on, buddy. Now I'm definitely behind. Oh, I could have went all night and not had that fucking conversation. Let's see here. Team Richard said, hey, Randy. Hello, Richard. Mike said, I forgot to comment on your video today. I'll have to go back and do that. Grape knee-high soda. Mike, if you don't get a chance to comment, buddy, it is okay. Just watching and thumbing it up is enough for me. But I appreciate it, Mike. Grandma said, hi, Richard. Maria said, when my friends send me pictures of them sending the freakiest compliments. No comment. No comment at all. Let's see. God dang, I'm behind. Grandma said, I'm still hurting a lot, Jane. I hate to hear that, Grandma. Jane said, hi, Richard. Grandma said, thank you. Richard said, hi, Grandma. John Deere said, hi, Grandma. Maria said, is your dad listening to the live? I think so. Team Richard said, hi, Jane. Grandma said, hi, Jacob. Jonathan Picasso said, I asked for ice at McDonald's and the cashier got deported. Well, so you got to ask for crushed ice. Come on, man. Be specific. Jane said, Maria, he was listening earlier and commenting. He better be focusing on driving. Grandma said, hi, Jonathan. Lotus said, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? Or woodchuck had a log splitter? Probably chunk a lot more because that shit gets small. And God We Poop said, apparently Red Bulls cost 9 cents to make, and I agree with your profit margins opinion. Well, it's just like the tires, okay? We don't mark ours up a lot, all right? Listen, I got books back here for Wheel Pros. I know I'm behind, but this is something I'm pretty passionate about. All right? You can go on wheelpros.com, and you can look up all these wheels, and it will tell you the price, all right? And I go on Wheel Pros, and my price might be $100. But then it tells me MSRP is $250 because that's what they tell me I need to sell it for. So you're talking $100 investment for a $250 $250 sell price for $150 of profit for just the wheel, and then the tires another $100. That is ridiculous. My opinion. Take it for leave it. Jane said, Jonathan, you should have asked for crushed ice. It's all about how you ask for it. I said about the same thing, and I didn't even see it. Grandma said, Richard, how are you doing? How are you and the family doing? Feeling better? I hope you are. Maria said, food poisoning is worst thing ever. Grandma said, thank you, Randy. Let's see here. Pro said, man, I'm really enjoying this conversation. You sound like the fairest a business owner can be in this sort of economy. I think the problem you were talking about wouldn't exist in a world where people weren't only concerned with their bottom line. Well, it's like I fix tires. Okay, if you come in, you got a nail in your tire, I don't just put a plug in it and charge you $5. I put a boot in it so you don't have to worry about water leaking in and compromising your belt, and you don't have to worry about it leaking because when I fix it, it's fixed, okay? And I charge $20 to do it. The boot cost me a couple dollars. The glue cost me a couple dollars. But a new tire, because you can sling out a plug all day. Pretty easy to do. But a boot, you're not going to sling it out. You can't sling it out. It looks like a reverse mushroom. $20. And it takes me about 15, 20 minutes to do it. But I have to charge that because I have all that time in it. While I'm doing it, I cannot fill that bay. But most people will not even look at a tire for less than $50. Like, yeah, there's profit to be made there, but it's ridiculous. People get kicked when they're down, and I don't agree with it. Mike said, hi, Carlo. Carlo said, sup, Richard, and sup, Mike. Jane said, pride. Unfortunately, our world is full of greed. I agree. You know, I'm going to call you pride instead of pro. But yes, like I said, I would rather make a nickel off of two people than a dime off of one. Lotus said, I think he is here. Grandma said, hi, Lotus. Maria said, dogs are so loud. That's what I need. Okay? I bet you if you come in here trying to do some harm and that dog starts barking, you're going to think twice. Lotus said, hi, Grandma. Pride said, Jane. Agreed. Unfortunately, I don't think that will change without people being forced to change. Problem with forcing somebody to do something is there's always resentment. I think people can do better. Jane said, that doesn't sound like Pops unless he sucked in helium. It's the lady we did the horse trailer tires for. She needs some tires. So Dad's going to look them up and he's going to communicate. Rumpel said, Pop's here? Nah. Maria said, LOL, Jane. Grandma said, hi, Rumpel. Rumpel's laughing at Jane. Hey, Dad's here. There you get him. Maria said, maybe he went to the gay bar. I think he did. Rumpel said, Grandma, hello. Jane said, LOL. I wonder if that was Kane's owner. No, it was not. Maria said, I think so. Door's locked. Hold on. Let's see. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Okay, Grandma said, sounds like a customer. Yeah, she's probably going to be a customer again. We put on a handful of tires for her. She's just a little annoying. Lotus said, is Kane a rental? No. We have rehomed him. He is ours. We have the contract sitting here somewhere. Jay said, YouTube wouldn't let me say our government needs redone. I wonder why. Kane said, former owner. No, it was not. Rumpel said, Pops popping a soda pop while playing pop about pop-pops. And then it's laughing. Madison said, LOL, no, they had rehomed him. Yep. Pride said, Jane, haha, YouTube doesn't like the truth. People think it's Dems versus Republican, but really it's poor versus the rich. We don't talk politics, but yes. Grandma said, hi, Madison and Angels. Madison said, hello, Grandma, how are you? She has food poisoning. Jane said, Pride, I just had this talk with my brother, and government doesn't want us all to get along. No, government's just like the railroad. If they can keep me and you mad at each other, they can get away with stuff. Hey, Madison's been a member of the silly little YouTube channel for 4 months. Thank you, Madison. Richard said, big boys. Pride said, I think they meant to say Jane, but I think they're going to type something else. Grandma said, hurting bad, but blessed to be alive. I understand that. Jane said, oh, not Kane's prior owner. No, if it was Kane's prior owner, I would have let her come in. Madison said, LOL, sounds like we like her. Madison said, I'm sorry, Grandma. Rumpel said, Kane really likes that spot. Yeah, he does. Pride said, Jane, that's why they killed Fred Hampton in the 60s. He started bringing everyone together against the rich. I think if we all just got along, I think it would make a big difference. Grandma said, thank you, Madison. Pride said, oh, shit, that ice joke is actually funny. Kane about to eat his ass. Mike said, hi, Madison. Richard said, Randy, not to rub it in, but you guys are in third place in medals in the Olympics now, and guess who's in first place? I'm going to guess you're in first place. But listen, the comeback story is the best one. Mike said, hello, Richard. Madison said, hey, Mike. Richard said, Lone Wrench. Madison said, LOL, hey, Richard. Carlo said, the popo just went flying by my house. They gonna get you, Carlo. Richard said, hi to Madison. Jane said, Richard, is the Olympics going on? Winter Olympics. Rumpel said, I just got flashbacks of Forrest Gump and his friend Bubba explaining about shrimp business for some reason. Sorry. Hey, it's all good. Richard said, Jane, yes.
Yeah,
Maria said, bye, I'm going to sleep.
You just you went and talked to her.
Fuck you and her. Hey, she'll be texting you some tire sizes.
I would like to apologize for his comments, all the burping and the damn comment about the dog's ass.
He was eating his own ass. And God We Poop said, run for mayor. You don't want that. Jane said, take care of Maria. Maria's gone to bed.
Oh, I see. I can't hear Maria leave.
Yeah, Carlos said, good night, Maria. Pride said, right, but I imagine if all those materials were just provided to you because we have had them and we need to use them. Obviously, we can't just eliminate the profit motive overnight, but it's something. You're exactly right. We can't eliminate it because I still need to make a little bit. A little bit. You don't have to make a lot. David said, don't you belong in the back of on the couch? Yes, David. But listen, the bald man is here now. So once he's ready and he gets here and settled, then I will be getting up and going. Madison said, bye, Maria. Pride said, we could reasonably work toward. I think we can. Madison has been a member of the silly little YouTube channel for 4 months. Would you like to take over?
Sure.
All right, I'm right there below Madison. You are behind. Everybody, thank y'all for coming in. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your gems you've sent. We got 22 and 42 right now.
Hi. Well, hello, everybody.
Ow.
Quit that shit.
All right.
Damn it. Jimmy said, what's up, fam? See you, buddy. Be careful.
Love you, Daddy.
Love you. Rumpel says, got a scoot. True. Bye. See you, Rumpel.
Oh, see you, Rumpel.
Maria says, if that dog barked at me, I'd start crying. Maddie said, he's there. Jane said, hi, Jimmy. Pro says, I'm sorry, let me get my little setup here. We got 23 people, 43 thumbs up. Pro said, to hell with the harassment of the rich. Jimmy said, send it, haha, love it. Jimmy said, hi, Jane mate. John Deere says, hi. Maria said, he's here when I want to leave. Jane said, actually, I said line them up, but YouTube wouldn't let me say that. And God says, I got to take a shower. David said, how come you didn't go with your dad? It was a work thing. I had to go to work and for training, and he had to work here. He had his regular job. Let's see. I'm sorry, I moved it and it took off. I'm sorry. Let me catch it up. Let's see. Maria said, that's Kane's spot. Jane said, take care, Rumple. Maddie said, bye, Rumple. Jimmy said, oh man, I ain't angry. Ha ha. David said, move aside, little bro. Take control. There you go. Rumble said, Jane, take care. Later's. Hello, Pops. Bye. Hey, Rumple, see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Madison later said, Rumple. Maria says, yeah, you came at the wrong time. I know, I was trying my best to hurry. Grandma said, hi, Pops. Nice to see you're back safe. Thank you, Grandma. It is nice to be back. Lotus says, I love it when he says I'm here, like I do vroom vroom. Grandma said, hi, Jimmy. And God said, what if we just grew our own food and then just ate it and there was some money? Yeah, that'd be nice. Grandma said, hi, David. Maria said, that cup is huge. Please tell me it's only water, not Pepsi. It's my salad. I just got ice in it, and I don't know if you can see, but Kane's got a little 10-ounce, 12-ounce bottle of Pepsi. I just put it in there. Let's see. Pro said, thanks for the conversation. Really enjoyed it. John Deere said, bye, R3. Does nothing special. Said, I see you escaped Atlanta. Yes. I didn't think I was going to, though, but I did. Jimmy said, oh man, looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know, right? David said, hi. Alamo said, whatever, showing that they're gay. And God said, oh my God, Randy irritating senior is hilarious. See, God said, what is your name? I only know Randy's. I'm Randy, and I'm Randy Senior. Well, Randy Junior, he's Randy the Third. Almost says, at least I don't vote for Trump. Well, that's good. Everybody's got their opinion. That's the whole good thing about the voting. Everybody's got the right to vote how they want to. Lotus said, Kane is chewing a fresh Pepsi. Lotus said, oh no, it's entitled. Yeah. Carlos laughing. Lotus says, they both Randy. Jane said, low off topic, there's no Randys here. It's Pops and R3. Bria said, what did you bring from Georgia? Me. A lot of knowledge. And God says, ouch, got a Jane. My friend said, tell us what you learned at the training in case your boss is watching. I learned how to go in depth on my job to do a whole bunch better job. And God sent 100 for 2 joules 3 times. Madison, the bad attitude, Maria. There you go. Lotus said, Madison is just joking. And Maria says, I agree with you, Madison. And Jimmy says, ha ha, what the fuck, Gramps? Jane said, Maria, he was in Georgia. More Mac said 1 hour and 2 minutes tonight. Grandma says, hi, Mac. Jimmy says, you had 20 Red Bulls a day? I don't drink that mess. Daryl says, Grandma. Deborah says, good evening, Deborah. Jane said, proud. I think most people in our country have a like mind with us. It's just they very rich and may disagree. Grandma said, hi, Deborah. And God said, white peach, red bulls are fire. Jimmy said, drink water. Maria says, no, don't let the dog drink Pepsi. Box fan said, what's up, gang, wanna bang, bang. I know, right? Does nothing special. Said, your training will allow you to become more gooder employed. That's right. I can do my job better, more better. Mattis said, he's not. He's letting him eat plastic. Yeah. Only turtles choke on plastic. Randy said, I drank a Red Bull once and got sick. Carlos said, what's up, Pops? Welcome back. Thank you, Carlo. Maria says, don't worry, Randy. I called your work company so they'll send you back to Georgia, but this time for 5 years. Gee, thanks, Maria. Jane said, off topic, Red Bulls are dangerous. Mix them with coffee and you may go to work and forget your pants. Grandma says, hi, does. My friend says, I sold my 83 GMC. Now I'm depressed. I'd be depressed if I sold it too. Maria said, or tell them don't let him come back. Man, Maria, you hurt my feelings. I done heard we wasn't your best friend. Grandma said, hi, my friend. 18 people, 44 thumbs up. Hey, I got caught up. What y'all think? Randy says, hey, bald man, go look at the driver's side of the red truck at the engine bay. I will. When I get done here, I got to go get my stuff out of the truck. Get all set up and everything. Maria says, you're my best friend? Question mark, who told you that? No, I said, I thought that we were real good friends, but now I see that it was just a best friend by mistake. Maria said, I don't have any bald best friends. Yeah, I believe me, I heard. I got my feelings hurt. Jane said, Jimmy, you mean like someone driving their car? They don't usually read comments or react with people as much? Yeah, it wasn't too easy for me to, I was in some stop and go traffic, so I was able to grab it right quick, and thought that's the reason I only put 51 and didn't put 51 miles. Maria said by mistake. See, Memory said, my friend invited me for sushi. I decided I had a deep dish sausage pizza. Probably would have been better. I'm not eating no sushi. I'm not eating no sushi, that's for sure. Let's see. Maria says, I only get best friends with hot looking women. Oh, Lord. Jane said, Memory, both sounds good. I'm hungry. Grandma says, hi, Memory. Maria says, I love sushi. I figured you would. Madison said, I want sushi and gazro. I don't know what that is. Jane said, me too, Maria. Maria says, now I'm hungry. I want to eat sushi. Now. 19 people, 44 thumbs up. It looks like I'm only going to get one for coming in here. Maria says, yeah, you ate everything good. No. And by the way, no, I'm not eating ice cream and ketchup. No, I can't do it. I like ice cream and I like ketchup, but I'm not mixing them. Jane said, or fried dumplings. Oh, okay. I just don't know how to pronounce that word. But I didn't know what it was either. But Maria says, okay, tomato man, don't eat sushi. Oh, you ain't got to worry about that. I want to make sure y'all got enough. Jane said he loves steaks and salad. Yes, I do. And a baked potato. I thought last I heard, salads and baked potatoes are good for you. Maria says, you what? I said, I will leave that sushi for you guys. I'm not eating it. Daryl says, ain't feeding me no nasty sushi. That's the way I feel, Daryl. Jane said, I thought maybe you would try ice cream and ketchup. No, 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 no. Maria says, ice cream and ketchup? No, somebody was in the live earlier talking about it, and Jane said that I would like it, and I said I couldn't type it, but I was saying as soon as I got here, I was going to tell you, no, no. Mike says, were you able to beat the Atlanta traffic rush hour? Only problem I had is the couple times where all the roads were coming together. One time I had about 8 minutes in traffic. Next one was 16 minutes of a delay. But, you know, it wasn't too bad. Grandma said, thank you for your live, Randy. Have a great night, and we love you all. God bless you and the family. Thank you, Grandma. God bless you, and I hope you get to feeling better. Maria said my dad called it sushi. Shushy. Shushy. Daryl said by Grandma. Randy says, you know, if you really start thinking about it, mashed potatoes is just Irish version of guacamole. Yep. Jane said, take care, Grandma. I feel better. Carlos said, my friend told me I feel like an ice cream. I said, that's funny. You don't look like one. Grandma said, good night, everyone. God bless you and all the family. Love you all. Thank you, Grandma. God bless you, too. And we love you, too. Grandma said, going to lay back. My stomach hurts bad. All right. See you, Grandma. Grandma said, thank you, Potts, and thank you, everyone. Why is that thing? Why is this thing not working? Oh, he's got it backwards. What the heck? Let's see. John Deere said, put that sushi on the grill. Yeah. Does nothing special. Said, I hate Atlanta. I used to have a delivery point in Northwest Atlanta. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if I ever go back to Atlanta. I don't like it. I'll go 50 miles out of the way to go around it. I don't like nothing to do with it. There's just something about that place I just don't like. Memory said, good night, everyone. I got to work at the rubber factory. I mold custom gaskets and O-rings. All right, Memory, thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. Jane says, take care, Memory. Everybody called her brother. Tell him to jump over here and give me a like. I've only got one so far. Maria says, nice gray shirt. Well, thank you. Well, I got me one. I got me 15 people, 45 thumbs up. Thank you. Mike said, that's why when we left your place last year, drove north of Atlanta so we wouldn't have to drive through it. We were taking the scenic route. Yeah, and I don't blame you. Maria says, I think people like to see someone with more hair. Well, I guess they can go find another channel because I'm not going to see any. Oh, you talking about the likes. Yeah. Yeah, Randy did good. I'm proud of him. Daryl said, Mike. Jane said, Lord, Maria, you didn't miss picking on Pops? Question mark. Let's see this. Let's see. There we go. Maria said, of course not. Really knows how to make somebody feel good. Typical. Auto Vision says, Elo USA. Randy said, I'm just a peaceful person who's looking for peace. Randy said people kept coming in and asking when Dad was coming to be there and did not want to be in the live with me in it. So I think he is the fan favorite. Well, some people don't think so. Mike says, hi, Daryl. Maria says, lol. You think somebody's just trying to give me a hard time? Randy says, some people are wrong. Maria said, yes, I disagree. Maria says, I prefer honest people. I'm about as honest as it comes. I'm going to tell you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do not do that. Is it going to go off on me? Nope, it's back. Come on. Why is it doing that? Well, anyway, let's see. Randy says, no, it's not going off. It's just the computer. Oh, okay. Maria said, I missed the old chair. I need to fix that. That's for sure. Zachary said, Randy passed away. Oh, man, no. Maria says, why did you broke it? You wasn't in the live when I leaned back and it broke. Zachary said, unmod Randy. Now, why would I do that? He owns the place. Maria said, Randy passed away? When? Oh, Z-Carry just being stupid. Acting crazy. Aldo Vision says, car collection, French America beautiful. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, USA. Randy says, if I died, I must be in hell because everything hurts. Y'all touch my lucky thingy. Please. Maria said, does it normal in America to buy those huge cups? Yes. It's normal for these cups to be big like that for people in the over the road have to plenty to drink, not to have to stop so much. Daryl said, bet you'll sleep better tonight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll definitely sleep better tonight. Maria said, thanks. Now we can't see you. Ah, damn. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Maria says, I'll take days to finish this. To finish what? Oh, me, 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 oh, the cup. Oh, yeah. Well, there ain't but just a little bit in it. I didn't fill it up. I only got this cup for the ice. I got no drink in the cup whatsoever. I got back to the truck and poured the Pepsi in it. And I actually poured the Pepsi in it to eat my banana and apple, thank you. Maria says, meow, meow, meow. Jane says, R3, I like your commenting too. Daryl said, I usually open a bottle of Sprite at lunch Monday and finish it at lunch Friday. Good gosh. Alex says, AC unit in the chat. There you go. Maria says, banana and apple, huh? That's right. That's right. They were free. They were free at the hotel, so I just grabbed one every morning And matter of fact, I still got one more apple out there in the truck I have to bring in here to eat. Randy said, "Lol, thanks." See, Maria says, why you didn't take pics to prove it? Because I would say friends need to trust friends, but I forgot we're not friends. I bet if I told Jane that I ate an apple, she would believe me. Maria said, some people have to bring you free fruit so you'll eat them. Well, yeah. I mean, they didn't bring it to me. It's just there in a basket when I go eat breakfast. Jane said, hey, Alex, they already auctioned off the AC unit. Where have you been? One Life says, I saw everything where you stayed at. Your son showed everything nice cars you guys work on. Thank you, One Life. I appreciate it. I'm glad he showed everything to you. We got to pick up our game around here and get on to the stuff going good. So hopefully our content will get better. Matter of fact, we're supposed to have a new camera here. I wanted to see it. Maria said, no, I don't trust people who don't trust their ability to grow hair. I trust my ability to grow hair. I just keep it trimmed. Do you not see my face grows pretty fast? Jane says, hi, One Life. Jane says, oh, Maria Pops can grow hair. He just chooses not to grow it. Yeah, exactly. Just like some people have got curly hair and they want it straight. Or some people want straight hair and got straight hair and they want it curly. Some people want to put up makeup on. People prefer to do things, and maybe makeup makes you feel better. Maybe me shaving my head makes me feel better. One Life says we don't need hair. I agree. Don't need it at all. Me shaving my head makes me feel better. Maria said, don't try to remind me. I'm trying to forget about that. Randy said someone is going to lose their mind when I go to the Love One Night and I'm going to have no hair. Yeah, your wife. You shave your head, your wife will whoop your ass. Maria's got an old mad frowny face. Jane said, hello, Maddie? Question mark. Daryl says, I'm bald, LOL. Only have to shave a horseshoe and my beard's starting to look a little ZZ Top. Maddie says, yeah, me. Randy said, lol. Oh, Lord. Simon Paul says, what you on about? Well, I'm just picking up where everybody else is talking right now. We're talking about hair and stuff. Maria said, at least you didn't see my curly hair. Well, I didn't know you had it. Mattis says, you go bald, I'm going red. That would probably look good. James says, R3, your hair is looking a little thinner these days. Daryl said, rather be dead than red in the head. Dang. Simon says, you have a lot of hair. Yes. I've got way more hair than I want. I can tell you that. Maria said, a bald man thinking about hair. Unfair. I try not to think. I think of how to get rid of it. Matthew says, hello, buddy. Hello, Matthew. Jace I says, hi. Hello, Jace. Randy said, shut up, old man. Y'all just come in here. If you hadn't been in here tonight, hit the old like button for me, please. Jace said, you're finally back. At least I've been waiting for you to come back. Well, thank you, Jace. I appreciate it. I've been waiting just to see your comment. Randy said, well, all this junk going on probably thinned my hair out. Luckily, I don't have gray hair yet. Matthew said, hit the like button, please. Does nothing special says he's more a romantic without hair. Yeah, right. Jane said that comes next. R3. Jay says, thank you so much for saying that because I love your content and I don't know if that was your brother and stuff. But yeah, that's my son that was on here earlier. That's my oldest son. He's the one that owns the building. Simon said, it all off, shave it all off. I agree. To me, it's just feels so much more better. Now, like I said, it is hotter and it is colder, but I just like it better than I do all that hair up on my head. Maria said that must be one of the worst mistakes I have ever done. What's that? James said, strap parachute on Pops and the hamster. Yeah, I heard that about the hamster. You know, when I growing up, we used to have these GI Joe men, and that when y'all were talking about the hamster, it reminded me of that. They had a parachute. You took that parachute, you wrapped around that GI Joe, and then you throwed it as hard as you can in the air, and that thing would come down and float down with that parachute. That was cool. Jane said, "Oh, I just read that." Mary says, "Sending the pics." Oh, you putting way too much thought into it. We'll delete them if you want us to. Mike said, does nothing special. I just subbed you. I thought I had already. Jay says, you know, there's a classic Mini Cooper's S that I have in my garage. I'd like to have one. I've never drove one. I went and looked at them one time, thought about trying to buy one when they were new, when they first come out, of the new version. But I have never drove one. I'd like to. Maria said, yes, we had those. Does nothing special. Says, thanks, Long Ranch. Maria says, you mean you didn't delete them? Oh, God. Jane said, Maria, trust me, you won't think twice about pigs when you get older and do a lot of other stupid stuff. She just puts way too much thought into it. I don't have the slightest idea why people like that, but whatever. I'm King said, where's the beard? It's right there at mash that thumbs button and a beer will appear. Let's see. Daryl said, Maria, they are printing stickers out of your pigs and they are getting passed out at Halloween this year. I'm going to put one on my car. Maria says, now I'm feeling sleepy. Randy says, I am starting to think that she did not accidentally send those pics. I think it was on purpose. You think? He said, Lord Daryl. John Deere said, hi. Look at there. We got 16 people, 49 thumbs up. I need 2 more to finish with 50 for tonight. We got 7 minutes. Jane said, Lowell Daryl. John Deere said hi. Mike says, hello, John Deere. Alaska said, there's you another thumbs up, Randy. It's me, Jacob. Well, thank you, Jacob. I appreciate it. Rich says, yeah, R3, of course. I wanted to do that, torture myself. Let's forget about them. Forget about, what are we forgetting about? Mike says, hi, Jacob. What are we forgetting about? Leska said, what's up, Long Ranch Garage? Oops, somebody, let's see. Maria says, I'm going to sleep. Bye. All right, Maria. See ya. Have a good one. Sleep well. Jane said, Maria isn't sleepy anymore if you talk about stickers. K5 Troy says, Ling Ling, double cup. Yeah. Jimmy said, how much heroin do you do? Never done heroin, Jimmy. Jane said, take care, Maria. Alexa says, come on, people, hit the like button. Yeah, please. We got about 5 more minutes. Let's see what Jimmy's got going on here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on, go to the channel. See what old Jimmy's got going on here. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's see. Jane says, Jimmy, who the hell uses heroin? Lots of broke people, that's who. Say it ain't so. Jimmy's got 2 subscribers with this channel doesn't have any content. I be dig dag. Dig dag dong. No wonder he comes in and says stupid comments. Jane says, take care, Maria. Oh, wait a minute. I read that. Let's see. Jimmy says, always pop up on YouTube Shorts, but now does a go in the eye. Alaska said, hit the like button, guys. We're running out of time. Hey, Jimmy. You want to come in here and say this crazy shit? At least hit the like button. Let's see. Who we got? Lotus says, I used to use it. That shit was freaking awesome until it wasn't. That's right. Randy arrived at home. Jane said, exactly. I don't understand how people want to come in and say stupid shit. They get their comment read and they still don't want to give a thumbs up. Oh, wait a minute. Jimmy's giving 2 pounds. Already did, Gramps. All right. Is that pounds or what is that? I wasn't actually talking about you, Jimmy, but but you know, just giving you a hard time. Listen, well, thank you. Anyway, I appreciate it. We did get 50 right there. Let's see. Lotus says, I'm Lou Squares, like from the gas station. Oh, okay. Jane said, Pops, I'm taking those drums away that you are beating on. Daryl said, I thought he was father from the shop. I was in a hurry, Daryl. Jane said, welcome, my Lou. Jimmy said, yep. We call it quit. All right. Oh, man. Let's see. Alaska says, are you from the UK? Nope. Oh, talking about Jimmy. James showing a angry face. Randy said 28 minutes to home. Jimmy said, yes, sir. All right, everybody. It's time for Metal Art Customs premiere. I think he said it was an hour and 3 minutes or hour and 8 minutes or something like that. But everybody jump over and continue the conversation over there with Metal Art Custom. Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. And sorry I got delayed. I was supposed to leave Atlanta around 11. They ended up keeping us till 2. So I did all I could to get here. So anyway, y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. See you tomorrow. Thank y'all.